Maybe that was the deal there. Hello. We are live on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for the few minute delay. Of course, you test everything out. You get it all up and ready to go, and then what happens when you attempt to go live? That your things don't work. But here we are. Welcome to the Squarespace website review session, the first Squarespace website review session. I had this idea just as ideas come to me. I have these ideas and I act on them. They sound so fun in the moment. So I emailed my email list and I said, I want to do some live website reviews. If you would like your website to be reviewed, submit it in this form. And now here we are. It's been, about a month later. I'm Catherine Forbes, founder of Designing the Row. If we haven't met, I'm a Squarespace expert and Squarespace authorized trainer. I've lost count, honestly. I say over 250 Squarespace websites at this point. So I've been there and done that when it comes to Squarespace websites. I love designing Squarespace websites and just websites and branding and SEO, all the tech stuff that comes with websites. And I want to be able to share that here with you on YouTube. So that's what we're going to do today. I want to say hi. It looks like I've got a hello over here from Brandon. So I'm guessing that means you can hear me, you can see me, things are working. We have 4 websites that I'm going to review today. I figure I'd just go in the order that they were submitted to me. They're all different industries, and for the most part, my advice is going to be different for everybody, but there are a few SEO things that apply to each one of these sites. So I am going to repeat myself a few times, but I think that's a good thing, because if everybody's missing out on this, then I think maybe going through it a few times will be helpful. So if you are one of the 4 people that I will be reviewing today, say hi, let me know if you're here, so I know that I can talk directly to you, and maybe ask you a question along the way if I need to. Otherwise, chat with me in the comments as we go. I'm going to do my best to try to manage the sharing and the screens and my feedback and the comments as best as I can. So leave me your comments, your questions, but definitely at the end, I will intentionally go through and do some Q&A. So if I miss you in the moment, don't worry. I will go back after I do the 4 reviews and we can chat. I have notes. I have my phone. I have my Diet Coke. I have all the things. So I'm spread out. I'm ready to go. If you guys are ready to go, Lalanya, if I'm saying that correctly, you are first up on my list. I see you are here. That is so exciting. Let's do it. I'm going to attempt to screen share here. This is what was messing up on me a second ago. So it's going to share my whole screen, rather than just, my browser. So welcome to my computer. Here we go. Let's see if this will work. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Website number 1. If I can get my notes in order here. Yes, here we are. Okay. By Lalanya. First of all, I love your logo and your colors, and the photos that you have throughout this homepage are all amazing. So good for you on that. I'm just going to dive right in. So your question to me was all about getting more traffic. So how can we get you more traffic? And for that reason, I want to focus a lot on SEO for you. So SEO, search engine optimization, is what helps search engines understand your website content. And I always say Google can't read your mind. You have to speak their language in order for them to understand what your website is about. And there's a couple particular things that I've pulled out here that we can do to help you better talk to Google and the search engine. So that's what I'm going to share with you. So the first is, and I know you're here, so if you want to, I've got my chat going. If you want to chime in and give me live feedback as we do this, feel free. But I want to work on your main keyword phrase. and I feel like it's there. We just need to make it even more obvious. For me, my guess would be that it would be handmade upcycled neckerchiefs. You've got upcycled neckerchiefs handmade in Los Angeles, but I would want to kind of organize that and make it its own standalone keyword phrase. And that would be the phrase that we would optimize your homepage for. So if that sounds good to you, let me know. If you would pick something different, let me know that too. And what we're going to do with that is a couple things. The first is we're going to update, and by I say we, I mean this is the homework that I'm giving you. By the way, I'm just looking at all of these websites in view mode. I'm not logged in or anything. So first thing we're going to do is take that main keyword phrase and apply it to your site title. So you can see, I think you can see here, it might be cutting it off at the top actually, now that I'm looking at my my phone over here. But when I hover over the tab for your website in my browser, it just says by Lalanya. So what we want to do, I'm going to show you on my website, is we want to edit your site title. You have a logo dropped in there. So, wrong one. Let's go to this one. I have my website in edit mode here too, so I can show you things along the way. So we're going to come into edit mode and go to edit site header. And then click on your logo, click on the pencil icon, and then you can see right here, I have designing the row, but I also have Squarespace website design and tutorials. So what you want to do there is keep the by Lalanya and then add the slash or a dot or whatever you want to add, and then handmade upcycled neckerchiefs. That's going to tell the search engines this is what this website is for and about. If somebody searches for this, this is the site that they want to go to, that they need, you know. Let's see. Okay, so Lalanya says she has other upcycled goods. So maybe you just say handmade upcycled fill in the blank products, apparel, whatever makes most sense to you. But for right now, since you have just this one product, maybe you can keep it that way. And when you add more products, you can update this across the board. So this is where I would start by adding your site title here. Okay, next up, we want to also use however you end up using your main keyword phrase right up here at the top of your page, but in header 1. So I did some little digging, and I don't know if you have any header 1s on this page. I wrote in my notes, add header 1. So we want this to be in header 1. This is some advice that I'm going to give most all of you. Header 1 and just all the headings in general are not just for looks, and they're not for styling and sizing of the font. They're actually very important. It's how the search engines read your site. By using header 1, that's telling them this is the most important text on my website page. This is what you need to know. This is what this page is about. So header 1 is basically, this is the title. This is the purpose of this page. So you want it to be the same or similar to what your site title is going to be. So you could do by Lalanya, upcycled handmade upcycled neckerchiefs, or whatever you decide to go to, in header 1 right here. And then maybe under it, a lot of times I pair like a header 1 with a paragraph 1 so that the fonts are different. And then you could say like established in Los Angeles, or made for you custom in Los Angeles, something like that, to keep the Los Angeles in there. Or maybe you even just do handmade upcycled neckerchiefs. I don't know, maybe you include Los Angeles in there somehow. But you want to keep it to like 60 characters or so, 60, 70. So not too long. Okay, I hope I'm not rambling. Let's go on to my next point, which is your site description. And I know you do have a site description in there, but it is too long. So one little thing that Squarespace does that's so fun is that they give you, let me see if I can find it. Everything is moving all the time. They give you more space to write your SEO site description than you should actually have. So you can see on mine, I have more space to continue writing, but you don't want to do that. So I'm going to let's see if I can really multitask here and take this link and drop it in the chat. We shall see. Okay, here we go. Use this tool. This tool is going to be great, again, for all of you. Come down here and type your description in, and you will see, if I start typing, there's going to be that yellow line here, the yellow bar. As I keep typing, it will turn green. Once there it is, look at that timing. Once it's a accepted length of an SEO description, but if you get too long, it will, watch this, let's see, it will turn red on you, and that's not good. Okay, so just start experimenting with your SEO descriptions in this little tool right here. Yeah, highly recommend. You can take what you have and just edit it in this tool. I think I'm going to go over SEO descriptions again with somebody else, so I'll go into more on how to craft that, but I just want to let you know that you have one, but it's too long, so use this tool. Okay, back to your website. I also used another tool that told me you have 208 words on your homepage, which is not long enough for SEO purposes. So again, like Google can't read your mind. You have to tell it what your site is about. If you can, this is going to sound like a lot, if you can double the amount of words that you have on your page, that would be good. If you can triple it, even better. That would really help here, because right now there's not a lot of words for Google to be like, oh yeah, we know what this site is about and how to serve it up in search engines. So work on adding more content, text content to this page if you can. Maybe even like turning on the descriptions for your products, maybe writing a short description here about them. Maybe some FAQs on the homepage. You could use the accordion so that you can hide it. Hide all the text but still have it on the page. Just some ideas for you there. Okay, I've got one more SEO tip, and then we'll move on to like 2 other pieces of feedback I have for you. Social media. Social media is also important for SEO. So if you can incorporate your Instagram feed on here, you have great pictures. So maybe your Instagram feed would be great to include on here. It's super easy to add a feed. I'll show you. If you go into edit mode on your page, add a block, you can type in Instagram, and then my feed is already connected, but you can change the design of it here and have your feed right there on your website. I would also recommend, I don't think you have any of the icons, the social media icons, you just have the follow link. I would recommend adding these little social media icons. If you just have Instagram, that's fine. Instagram, and maybe you can see the last one I have here is my email. So then you have like 2 icons. I think that would be nice. Give it a visual rather than just the word follow, because they don't know what they're going to be following you on when they click that. Okay, 1 second. Okay, my next piece of advice for you is your email list. I would say make sure this, I think this is just the default that Squarespace gives you, the text when you add the newsletter block. I would make that more enticing. Some of my ideas for you that I wrote down are, can you offer a discount to subscribers? Like if they sign up, then you automatically shoot them a discount code for your shop. Can you, where did it go? Can you have some exclusive products only available to subscribers? Or maybe, like when you come out with those new releases, new product releases that you're talking about, you can have people to email about it. Yeah, just a few ideas there for you. And then the about section, I would say, lengthen this with an actual separate about page. About pages are actually like the second most, this is not for everybody, every website, but in general, the about pages are like the second most visited page on a website. So really like tell your story, tell the story about your products. People want to know who you are before they buy from you. So I would say add an about page, and that would be really beneficial, especially since this is like such a personalized product that you're creating and selling. Like tell your story, how you got started, where you sourced the materials, what your process is. Those are all things that I was just curious to know as I was going through your website. And I see over here, you have a question about where to put your Instagram feed. Usually I put them like where you have these pictures right here, just at the very bottom of the website. It's not like content that you need people to see, but it's a nice little added, like you have here, pictures and colors and a way to see what you're doing, but also get them to interact with you on social media directly from your website. Yeah, that would be my advice for you. So those are I've got 8 points for you. I've got like 7 or 8, 9 points for everybody. So those are my points for you. I hope that was helpful. I love your website. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. If you have other thoughts or questions, pop those in and we can talk a little bit more after I get through some of these other websites. Okay, next up is Sam's flight deals. Sam, I don't know if you are here or not. I haven't seen you pop up in the chat. So I'm just going to go through this and you can watch the replay, or if you're here, hello. So what I love about your site right off the bat is it's simple, it's straightforward. I know exactly what I would get if I were to sign up here. Flight deals from Toronto. So for you, I'm also going to start with, I've got 6 SEO feedback points for you. We're also going to start just the same way to review your main keyword phrase. So right now, as obviously you can see, it says, get amazing flight deals departing from Toronto delivered straight to your inbox. So think about if you were somebody looking for a flight deal, what you would search for. Honestly, it's likely not going to be amazing flight deals departing from Toronto, but maybe, what did I write down here? Cheap flights from Toronto. I wrote down flight deals Toronto, discount airfare Toronto. You can start typing in Google, like turn on an incognito window, and just start typing in stuff like that and see what pops up, what the suggestions are, what people are actually searching. And I would recommend using that as your main keyword in your header here, which you also, just like the last site, put it up here in your site title. So again, edit your logo and add it here to your site title, whatever that keyword phrase is that you decide on. And then also work it into this text here and make sure this is header 1. I'm not sure this is classified as a header 1 text. Okay. Speaking of, I kind of mentioned this a minute ago. I'll give you a little bit better of an example this time. So think of headers as like a book. The header 1 is the title of the book. And then, let's see, header 2, maybe you're going to have the chapter titles. Header 3, maybe that would be like table of contents. And header 4 could be like some quotes or some like sub-chapter titles. So it works the exact same way on a website. So your main title of the page is going to need to be header 1. And then as you go down, like how it works, maybe this is header 2, these are header 3, which maybe they already are. But just in my quick scan of this, it looks like almost all of this text is header text. And so that could get confusing to the search engines when all they see is header text. It's kind of like, I don't know what's important here or what's not. So maybe check out your header structure and make only the most important stuff, the title stuff, your headers. Let's see. Okay, next page, we're moving along. Okay, so your site doesn't look like it has the SEO meta description. So over here, I told you I would give you a little bit better of example on how to create this description. I'll give you kind of like a Mad Libs example to make it easy. Use your site title, your brand name, so Sam's Flight Deals, plus whatever that main keyword phrase is that you are going to decide on. If it doesn't include Toronto, make sure it includes Toronto, but I have a feeling that keyword phrase will include Toronto. And then give it a call to action. So something like, Sam's Flight Deals offers cheap flights from Toronto. Sign up for the premium service to get flight deals directly to your inbox. Something like that. To brand name, main keyword, location, and a call to action. And fit it in that green pixel bar there. And then when you want to add that, currently at least, it is under this little settings gear, marketing, SEO appearance, and then drop it in this SEO site description here. That not only will tell the search engines what your website is about, but if somebody is Googling for Toronto flight deals and your website pops up in the results, that'll be the description that pops up under the website name and URL. So it's for search engines and for humans, so you want to make it something that people can read. Okay, something else that I mentioned already, but I'm going to tell you too. You have 449 words on your website, so if you can double that, that would be great. If you can maybe add more FAQs, add more description here. I would love maybe a breakdown on like what the free sign up includes versus what the premium includes on the homepage, rather than just having a premium link up at the top. If you can explain like, hey, you can sign up for free or you can pay and get even better deals or more deals, or what is the difference? I'm not really sure. That would be my suggestion for adding more on the homepage. You could also incorporate your Instagram feed. I saw you have an Instagram. Drop that in there at the bottom. That would be great. You do have your 2 little logos here. Okay, and then I got like 3 more just general feedback points for you. I was just thinking, if I were flying out of Toronto, what would I want to know? And my first thought was like, well, what airlines does this apply for? Is this all airlines? Is this just one airline? Like what is the deal there? Maybe like right under this section here, you could have a banner. You know how some people have like as featured in, and then they have some logos scrolling? Maybe you could say airline deals include, and then have some airline logos scrolling. And then down in the testimonial section, these, I would love, like, I know you don't want to like just give away everybody's name, but I would love some more type of credibility here, so that me as a viewer knows that like these are real people that really had a good experience with you. I don't know if people would be willing to submit a picture of them on their trip for you to share, or like even if you just shared Ethan, but Ethan had a picture to go with it, it would make it feel more real to me. Does that make sense? So if you could somehow make these more credible, or if they were like from Google, just think of how would you present these in a more credible way. That's my feedback to you there. And then I would suggest for this premium page to just add more to this page. I just wanted to know more about what it was. Like I said a minute ago, free versus premium, what's the difference? What am I really getting here? Bulk up the content and the text content on this page again. And you can, just the same way we did for the homepage, pick another keyword phrase to optimize this page for and just build out more content. Okay, that is my feedback for you. It does not look like you were here, but I hope you enjoyed that if you're watching it back. Jilly, I see that you are here. Everybody say hi to Jilly. Jilly is in Australia, and she set her alarm for 4 a.m. to be here for this. So shout out to Jilly for being here, working on her website at 4 a.m. Okay, so right off the bat, what I love about your website are the testimonials. Let's go down here. Yours have a picture, they have a testimonial, they have the person's name, what they do. This one even has like a link to who they are, where they are. I think these are great testimonials. I'll talk more about these in a second. I know you had a question about those, so we'll get to that, but I just wanted to say this is great. Okay. Let's start. You had some very a list of specific questions. So this is going to be, my feedback is just going to answer your questions. And then I had one bonus for you. Okay, how to incorporate more SEO techniques. We're going to go with I'm going to start with the same thing every time. So again, let's talk about the heading hierarchy. Your site actually has too many header ones, so we need to focus in on using only one and really making it count. And speaking of, I also want to consider the title. Like if someone was looking for a life coach, I personally don't know if they would type in "empower your path." So for your header one, you really want to make it count. Like, what are people actually searching the internet for? That's what you want to use as your header one, and as just like they land on your website and they're like, yes, this is logistically what I'm looking for. So I would rethink your header one and your title up here. And you do have your site title is expanded a little bit. I'm not sure if I didn't put it in the tester over here. You can put the title here. I'm wondering if yours might be too long. I didn't test it though. Life Coach Jilly, design and build your exceptional life. So I would say whatever you decide to go with for your main keyword phrase, your header one, that Google search, what you want that to be, I would mimic that up in there, and your site title and your header one at the top of the page. Okay, and then your next question was to ask, how much do blogs really help with keywords and SEO? So something else I noticed about your website is that, maybe you can let me know, is this a brand new website? Your website right now doesn't have any backlinks. A backlink is when another website links to your website. That helps the search engines know, okay, this person is real, other websites like it, and the more backlinks you can get and the more credible backlinks that you can get, the more Google will be like, oh yes, she's credible, we like her, she has authority, other people like her, we will start sharing her more in search. So if you share blogs and then people start to share your blogs on social media or link to them on their website, that will help you get backlinks, and so that could be a good reason for you to do blogging. It also helps with organic traffic if you do the keywords correctly. One of my most popular blog posts, I don't know if I can quickly find it, is Instagram ideas, like 16 Instagram ideas for musicians. I wrote it like 8 years ago, and it's sometimes it gets more traffic than my homepage, but it's a keyword that worked that not many people have blog posts about. So if you have some like keyword heavy topics that you can blog about, do that. I wouldn't just like randomly blog to blog. I would do it really intentionally, because those keywords are gonna bring people to your website. If you want more on this, I pulled up I have a personal channel here too. I'm trying to figure out my direction with it right now, but the last video I shared is about SEO versus engagement and which works and how they work together and how you can use it to grow your audience. So I'd recommend coming over to my other channel and watching this most recent video. It'll help you blend the two things together. Okay, let me see. I'll drop the link to this. I think I can get the hang of this over here in the chat. Nope, not this one. Let's go to YouTube. There she is. Okay. There's that link for you. And the last thing about the blogs, again, I hope this is helpful for everybody, just to kind of listen into what I'm giving advice for everybody. Because whether you want to blog or not, Jilly, this blogging advice is helpful for anybody. It's true across the board. So search engines favor websites that update their content regularly. And a good way to update your content regularly is with a blog post. So my idea for you was to maybe do a case study about your clients. You have those testimonials down here. People are obviously willing to share the transformation that you've taken them through, who they are and where they work and all that stuff. So maybe you write a more detailed post about your time together with these people. So that could not only serve as a good blog post, but a good sales tool too, so people can really just see what it's like to work with you. Okay, that's all about blogs. Now let's go into how much do Google reviews really matter. You mentioned that you have a couple more to add, but you're awaiting approval. How many testimonials are enough? Is the word count too heavy? Would it be cool to make them clickable if people want to read? So yes to all of that. I have answers for you. On the homepage, I would say make these short. I honestly haven't read one of them all the way through because it's just too much text for my designer brain to process. I would recommend pulling out a sentence that's the strongest from each one and putting those on your homepage, and then you could create a whole separate page for client testimonials that does list out these full testimonials. I would challenge you to think about, like, when you buy something. I know, at least for me, like, even if I'm buying something for $5 on Amazon, I want to know if that $5 is going to get me what I want, or if it's going to be a piece of trash, you know? People care about reviews, and if they care about reviews for something that's $5, they're definitely going to care about something like life coaching. They want to know that they're going to get the ROI on that money. So yes, testimonials are very important, and having personalized ones like this can go a long way. If you want to use the Google reviews, here's a link I forgot to pull up. Check out elfsight.com, elfsight.com. They have a bunch of Squarespace plugins that you can use for features that aren't built directly into Squarespace. And they do have a Google reviews one that I recently used on a client website. You can see it looks like this. So it pulls the reviews directly from Google. You don't have to style them or anything, but it does the work for you. And I think that adds a lot of credibility when it's on Google, coming from Google. Okay. Where am I? Question number 4. Are there any key gaps in the offering? Okay. So we talked a little bit about, like, what does empower your path mean? What does design and build your exceptional life mean? My next question for you is who do you want to work for or with? Who is your ideal client? And can you spell that out up here in this top view of your website? So whatever your main header ends up being, I would add something right under that says, like, for fill in the blank. Life coaching with Jilly, whatever underneath it. I don't know. I'm going to make up something about myself for millennial women looking to something, you know? Just so that when people land on the site, they're like, oh yeah, that's me. She can help me. Or they're like, oh, not the right fit, and kind of weed themselves out that way. So that would be my feedback on what might be missing. It's just to help people qualify or disqualify themselves. Next question was, I don't have any video introduction or video components. Will video help? Video can always help, but I would say don't just throw a video together for the sake of having video. Make sure it's a high quality something or other. You could also ask your clients for testimonials, video testimonials. That could go a long way. I bought into a coaching something a couple years ago, and I will tell you, I watched as many of those testimonial videos as possible because, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was getting into and that people were genuinely honest with the reviews that they were giving. Something I always say I'm going to do for myself, and then I never have taken the time to ask people for that. But that's my idea for you. Okay, number 6, my website doesn't really have any moving, sliding, or interactive components. Any resources to make this more engaging? My thoughts, I had 2 thoughts. I would say this grow it, dream it, build it, shoot that going the other way. Like, we read from left to right, but this is scrolling to the right, and it confuses my brain. So I would say just send that the other way, and that's a good something to have moving. Something else that I've been doing recently on sites, if I come over here, there's these art backgrounds, I think is what they're called. Edit mode, edit section, background, art. If you click on these, I'll click one that has some contrasting colors. You can see that background moves, like ever so slightly, but it's moving. I don't use this one. It's not really my style. I use like the gradient one a lot. Let me pick some different colors here. The gradient just ever so slightly kind of waves. You can adjust how that works in all these settings here, but that might be a way to add some movement without having to have a video with these art backgrounds. It has this pause button on it. Not crazy about it, but I figured whatever, it is what it is. I think I came up with some code to get rid of that on my own site, so maybe I'll share another video about that one day. Okay. I don't want to get too sidetracked here. Your last question was about being based in Melbourne and wanting to make it clear that you're available for in-person for people that are there, but also that you can work with people globally. I think what you have on your website is fine. Like, this makes total sense to me. If anybody in the comments wants to chime in and give some other ideas, go for it. But this made total sense to me. Maybe clarify like what sessions that you do in person. I personally, just from a business perspective, wouldn't offer intro calls in person. Like, don't let people take up your in-person time until they've paid you. But that would be my suggestion. And then you also ask about having a .com versus a .au. Whatever, I'd say whatever's most popular down there, but you can also just do both. If you go into your settings, domains are like, what, $20 for the most part on average. You can link multiple domains to one website. So you can see here, I bought Market Your Music Online at one point, and then I didn't do anything with it, so I just linked it up to this website. So if you go to marketyourmusiconline.com, you'll end up at Designing the Row. So you could do that, and then you can have both, and it'll catch everybody no matter what they type in. I told you I had a bonus tip for you, was to add a favicon. I don't think that, no, I see you said savage. I don't even know what that was in response to. Well, now it looks like you have one. I was going to say add a favicon, but you have one, so never mind. Maybe it just wasn't loading for me earlier. Sorry, I don't have a bonus tip for you. Okay, that's for you, Jilly. If you have questions, drop them, and we'll keep talking after. I've got one more. Zach, if you were here, say hello. Zach, he's actually local here in Nashville with me. We've got everybody across the world today. We've got like LA, Toronto, Melbourne, and Nashville. That's pretty cool. Okay. Zach reached out and said that his site feels underwhelming. He wants to make it more streamlined. Wanted a more striking color palette. Had a particular question about his email list sign up form, and also sent me a website preview of another site that he liked. And since he sent me that like a week or two ago, he has gone in and updated his pictures and his colors. So Zach, you're doing great. You're on the right track. This definitely feels much more branded and stands out more than it did when you first sent it to me a week or two ago. So good work. I have a few notes for you. I would say right off the bat, I used to be like a stickler about having your logo be the biggest thing on the website. I'm not so much that way anymore. If you go to my own website, you can see that's not the case. But I think yours needs to be a little bit bigger. It just kind of blends in. I would also maybe say pull like an off-white color from your picture and maybe make everything in the navigation the green except your name. Maybe make that like an off-white so it stands out and looks more like a logo rather than just text like everything else. yeah, that's my first little bit for you to spice up the design right off the bat. And with all your changes that you've made, the changes you've made do reflect that site that you sent me already, like with the content layout. But I want to challenge you to add more to your homepage. It's probably obvious by now based on the feedback I've been giving other people, but you're going to want to add more to your homepage for search engines. And search engines, I feel like I work a lot in music, for those of you who don't know. I feel like search engines aren't as important for musicians because you're entertainers. People aren't sitting there searching like new Americana music. At least I don't do that. So SEO is a for musicians on me, but I try to do what I can. So the more text, the better. If you can at least get like a sentence about who you are, what kind of music it is that you make, that would be great. If you can get like a player, even if it's just of one single on your homepage, I think that would be great. It's interesting as a non-musician, my husband, watching him go to his favorite band's websites. One time he went to a website and they had a Spotify embed right there on the homepage. He's like, oh wow, that's great, I can listen to their music. And it's like, that's so obvious. But like working in the industry, working on websites, sometimes we just forget these things. But he said it so clearly. It was like he didn't have to click, he didn't have to go search for their music. They just gave it to him right there. Like if you go to a musician's website, you want to listen to music. So give the people what they want. And also, like I was clicking through all these pages, you have press quotes from Pop Matters and Nashville Scene. Put that on your homepage. That's great. Like if you want to put some logos on your homepage, or even if you want to take a pull quote and put that on your homepage, that would be a great way to add some content to your homepage. And my last idea to add more content was to put one of your store products on your homepage. You can easily do that as well. Let's go back to my example page. If you do ad block, if you type in product, you can pick a product that's on your site and it will embed it for you right there without you having to do anything special. You can add the description, you can do add to cart, you can even do a quick view. You don't have to do anything fancy. Once you've added products to your site, they're available for you to put on any page of your website. So that would be a suggestion for you. I had another idea and then it just left me as soon as it came to me. So I will move on. Oh, yeah. If you saw, I now remember. When I typed in product, you could probably saw that Amazon popped up. If you have things on Amazon that you want to sell, you can also embed them the same way. I don't know what I would add here, but you just search for your product and click it when it pops up, and you can add a buy button and have a embedded Amazon product right there on your website. I think that's a cool and underused Squarespace feature there. Okay, Zach's website. My next note for you was your lyrics page. I think this is great. I used to do a lot of lyrics pages for artists, but not so much anymore. Nobody's really requesting them anymore, but I still love them. Maybe you can guess why, because of the text content. If somebody is searching for lyrics of your song and you don't have lyrics on your website, they're not going to end up on your website. They're going to end up on some lyric website. So if you have the lyrics to your own song on your website, that's great, and that can help get more people to your site. Cool. I like it. Maybe, my suggestion for you here was instead of having it on a graphic, to actually put it as text on the page so that Google and the search engines can read it. Because right now it's just a picture. So if you put the text actually on the page, that would be helpful. If you don't want just a long scrolling page, which I totally understand, I wouldn't either. If you use ad block, if you use the accordion feature, pencil icon, you do your song title here, and then you type out your lyrics here where the description text goes. And then when somebody goes to the lyric page, it's not just a whole bunch of text, but they can click in and see the specific song that they want to see. Once you start to have multiple albums and multiple singles, maybe your lyrics main menu item would drop down and have your different albums so they could go directly to the album that they wanted to. That would be my suggestion. Okay, another suggestion I had was to check your mobile menu colors. I don't want to shrink my screen here and totally mess up the live view, but when I look at it on mobile, when I click on the menu background is like a white, and I can't remember what the text is, but it didn't feel like it fit. Maybe you just forgot to update the colors on mobile menu, but you can edit those colors separately. If you go into edit, mobile view, there you can see it's white and then it pops up white here. This is the color that was changing and being different. So just click color and then you can choose from your color palette here to make it match what you've got going on the desktop. Okay, we're almost there, you guys. Thank you for hanging in with me. I'm having fun. Hope you're having fun. The last thing as far as design is the accessibility with the colors. The text here, this is really hard for me to read. I ran it through a accessibility tester, a web accessibility test. And you have 30 elements that are failing because the foreground is not contrasting enough against the background. So like I said, making this like your logo an off-white, I might recommend your main text to be an off-white just to really make it easy to read. You don't want to have to make people strain to come find you and see you live. So I definitely would recommend doing that. And now that I say you are in Nashville like I am, I don't know if you are. This is a lot of West Coast stuff. So hello, wherever you are. Let's see. Okay. My other feedback for you, number 6 was music on your homepage. I already said that. Number 7 was to add Spotify and Apple Music and Bands in Town to your social media lineup of icons here. You can 100% add the link to your Spotify and Apple Music profiles there as well, and it'll automatically populate those logos. Bio. Let's go to your bio page really quick, about page. I was clicking on some of these links, and when I did that, it would replace your website. It would just go directly to their website. When you add a link on Squarespace, let's see, this page is getting a little crazy. If you add a link on Squarespace, if you are linking outside of your website, this is not outside of my website, but for example, if this was your website, Zach, that I'm linking to on my site, I would say open link in a new tab. This will make sure that your about page stays open, but Lightning 100 also opens in a new tab. So anytime you're linking to a site that is not yours, always open it in a new tab. That goes for anybody watching. Last but not least, you asked about your contact form, how it's not collecting emails in MailChimp. And I believe, where did it go? I think I could have clicked that button, but I didn't. The get updates and shows on music and more. This to me looks like a contact form instead of a newsletter form. So when you add your form, add block, click this newsletter form instead of just a general form. Click on newsletter, and it should look like this. You can add the name if you come down here and say require name field. I require name field from my own personal list because I like to address people by their first name when I email them. So I would require it. You can do that. You can change the text to say whatever you want to say, change the title, and then come into storage. By default, it's going to, again, for anybody, it's going to turn on the Squarespace email marketing list. You can disconnect that if you're not planning to use it, obviously. Other storage options, and then MailChimp, and you can connect it there. Once you make the connection between MailChimp and Squarespace, it will ask you to pick a list that you already have in your MailChimp account. So once you've done that, you can see the list name. You should be good to go. I have a whole separate video if you want more step-by-step on that. There's a more detailed video on how to set that up here on my channel. Okay, we made it to the end. How are you guys feeling? I see some questions over here from Jilly. Thank you, Lalanya, Sam, Jilly, Zach. Thank you for letting me do this live stream with you guys. This has turned out to be like twice as long as I thought it might be. So I hope it was super helpful and action-packed for you guys. Whether you're one of these 4 people or you're watching in hopes to get some ideas for your own website, I hope it was actionable and helpful for you. If you have questions, drop them in now. While you do that, I want to remind anyone watching that wasn't featured today that you can submit your website here on my website to be featured on the January. I'm going to try to do this every month. If you want to be on the January session of the website reviews, you can drop your information in here. I do plan to only review Squarespace websites because that's what I know, that's what I do. So your Squarespace website, drop in your info, any questions you have for me here. That's designingtheroad.com/free-website-audit. Should make that easier, but that's what it is. That's in the comments for you now. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. Let me know what you think about this. If you have any feedback for me on how this went, let me know. There's a donate button if this was helpful in the comments. If you want to fuel my Diet Coke, keep me going on these, we can do that. I also want to know if you would like a Squarespace support live stream, like something similar to this, but like you're running into issues trying to figure out something. It's not just like, how can I improve my website? It's actually like, how do I make this work on Squarespace? I'm stuck. I've got some emails in my inbox right now that I need to respond to of just people watching me here on YouTube and saying, hey, you talked about this on YouTube, but I need more help. Can you fix this on my website? And like I said, I've done 250 websites and I have to maintain those and field any questions I get from my own clients. So I don't take on like edit requests from people whose sites I did not build. But if maybe we were to do it in this kind of style of a live stream where I take your questions and help walk you through the specific question that you're having, that would be something I'd be up for if you'd be interested. I recently joined Reddit. I don't know if this is just because Reddit is a negative place to be, but there's a lot of comments and threads on there about how Squarespace support is just not great. So I've done all of these things many, many a times. I've asked Squarespace support my own questions. I feel like I can troubleshoot a lot of things on Squarespace, even just from the outside or from admin access. So again, if that's something that you would like, I don't know, reply Squarespace support in the comments, or just leave me a note and let me know if that would be helpful. Yeah, that's my notes for you guys. I see some questions over in the comments, so let's do that. Let's save this beautiful page here on my site. And I'm gonna go back to the top. Give a couple shout outs. Amanda, hello, thank you for watching. Jilly, donate button is in the description, I believe. It should be designingtheroad.com. I think it's down here. It's not down here. I thought it was down here. It's in the description somewhere, I think. Lalanya, I really hope I've been saying your name right this whole hour. Thank you for being here and for sharing your site with us. Okay. I'm going to leave my screen shared for a second while I go through some of your questions, Jilly. You did a speed performance test, which was low because of image file size. Is there a workaround to adjust file sizes of stuff that's already uploaded? Already uploaded? I'm not sure that there is, actually. Do you know what size the files are? Let me know about that. A lot of times it's super annoying, but before I upload a picture, I'll just, I'm on a Mac, so I'll go in my preview and just export it as a lower file size. Super, super fun process. The navigator buttons, you need a navigator button at the bottom of the page. Let's see. I'm guessing you mean like these up here. Like your navigation items, you need them at the bottom. I used to do them on every site. Now, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The reason why I stopped doing it is because for SEO purposes, it looks like a duplicate link. So if you're linking to an about page at the top, maybe if you have a link to it in your content and you have a link to it in the footer, they start flagging it as duplicate. So unless you have just like a really intense navigation, I'd say nah. Maybe if you feel like this is a long page, you could have like a back to top button. That's not a built-in feature on Squarespace. There's tutorials on it on YouTube though, if you want to be able to add that in. How do you integrate archetype style quizzes? I would look again at this ELF site, see if they have some quiz options, or depending on who you use for your email marketing, maybe they have some sort of like opt-in option for quizzes that can give people a quiz and also get them on your email list. Check that out. Otherwise, what I've done before is just use a Squarespace form. It's not necessarily a quiz, but yeah, they fill out a form and then I redirect them to a certain page with some more info. It's mostly just like a one redirect page. It's not like here's your quiz results, but it gets them to fill out information, gives me information, and gets them on my email list. So those are my 3 answers to your pop quiz. A subscribe pop-up. How do you make the subscribe pop up? Is there any viewer evidence to support that it increases versus a still option on the page? I think, yes, it does help increase. And for you, maybe you could move it to the higher up on your page if you want to boost that for your own website. But to actually do it, I'm losing my voice now. I usually am just sitting at my desk doing websites all day, not talking for an hour straight. Let's see. If you go into settings, again, they move this. Marketing, nope. So that marketing is different than this marketing. Marketing tools, promotional pop-up. And you can do it here. That's a past one that I had. You can change your layout. They have some that are specific for email list. The thing I don't like about them, and the reason I haven't used them a lot on Squarespace, is because they only allow you to ask for the email field. They don't allow you to add the name field in the pop-ups. So for that reason, I'm out. But that's how you do it. You could also just do a button that leads to a sign-up page, but that's extra clicking. I think that's all the questions. Let's see. Oh, another question. To entice people to subscribe to email lists with a discount code, what % off do you suggest? There seems to be many strong opinions out there on this. I mean, the first thing that pops into my mind is 10 or 20%, but you're the one setting your pricing and you know your margins and what would make sense for you. So if 20% is way too much, then don't give it. You could also do like free shipping. Whatever mathematically and monetarily makes the most sense to you is what I would recommend. If I am on your website and I want to make a purchase and then all of a sudden it pops up and said you're going to give me $5 off, I'd be like, heck yeah, because I'm already going to buy it, so you're going to give me something off. I'm going to take it, like, no matter what it is, you know. So I'd say don't stress about how much it is. Anything is better than not having any discount. So that'd be my feedback on that. And you could, just like I showed Jilly, you could also do a pop-up. So you could do pop-ups. Let's see if I'm still on that page. If you come into display and timing, you can set it to display, like whenever they land on your page, no matter what page it is, the pop-up will show there. Or you can say when they hit a store page or when they hit a product page, immediately show them the pop-up. You can set it to show on a timer. So after like 5 seconds or whatever the timer options are, you could show on a scroll. So when they get 20% down the page, they're obviously there to stick around for at least a second. So give them your pop-up, or you can combine the two and set your settings. Yeah, there's the 5 seconds. Frequency, do you want them to see it every day that they come to your website? If they come to your website every day of the week, do you want them to see it? Or do you just want them to see it once a week, 2 weeks, 30 days? I think the next day. People aren't going to be visiting. It's just the way it is. This is not a knock on anybody. Nobody is visiting my website every day of the week. So if I set it to that, it's not going to be awful. And if they are, then they like me and they can hit that X if they don't want to see it again. Then there's the don't show again after newsletter sign up. If you are doing a newsletter sign up specific pop-up, I think you could turn that on. Otherwise, whatever. Show on mobile, you probably would want to keep that on. But just remember that the styling for mobile is going to look different, so don't forget to customize that. You can do all of that customizing here under styling. I think the thing that also frustrates me about these pop-ups is it doesn't take on the styling for your site. You have to set it again, I think. Yeah, so you have to set all your colors and your fonts again, so it's a little more tedious than I think it should be, but that's that. Cool. And it looks like I answered your pop-up question before I saw it. Trying to exit out of my own pop-up, and it went away from me. It's like the save and the exit's not there anymore. So there's my 2-year-old pop-up that I haven't had active in a while. I think that is all the questions that I've seen come through. This has been a lovely hour. Thank you for hanging with me for like the 5-minute delay while I figured out how to get my screen to share, the most important part of this whole thing. Thank you. Let me know if you would want to be on the next episode of this, if you would want a support version of this. Let me know all the things. I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see the websites that you create. So thank you so much for joining me. I can show you my face again, but then it's just going to show you the screen, I think. Oh, there we go. Hi, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe, like this video, share it with anyone that you think would find it helpful. If you have a friend working on their Squarespace website, let them know that we are hanging out over here on the Designing the Row channel, and I will see you in the next one.